surgery. So we're playing with a little bit of everything today. These are 8-foot straps here in the studio, and I'm not sure what you have at home. Sometimes they're 6 feet, sometimes they're 8 or 10. The 8-foot straps are better for what we're going to be using them for today, unless you're really tall, and the 10-foot would be even better for you. But you take the strap through the smaller hole and then back through the teeth of the grooves. That way it will stay together and not slide apart. We are going to be doing a blend today of a little bit of movement, and then we're going to slide into restorative. So we'll do a little movement, restore, do a little movement, restore, do a little movement, restore, to honor the fact that tomorrow is a full moon in Aquarius. And we are currently in the Lionsgate energy as well. What I want to talk about at the very beginning of the practice is something that I saw posted the other day on social media, and I loved it because honestly, I grew up in the South. Sorry, I got a fuzz or something in my mouth. Okay, got it. So I grew up in the South, but I also grew up a feminist. So when the Me Too movement happened a number of years ago, I was actually like excited that women were coming out and talking about their stories and sharing their stories, because women have been hushed for so long, and we've hushed ourselves for so long, and we've stuffed it down. I really like the fact that it was all coming out. However, I couldn't get on board with the movement of it. And here I was, like a feminist, and I could not get on board with it because there was so much hate involved in it. And there was some people, celebrities in particular, that were speaking out, which I didn't agree with. And one of those celebrities was from the South, from close to here, actually, who were doing a lot of speeches and a lot of speaking out and doing a lot of social posts about how people should stop calling each other sweetheart and dear and blah, 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 because it's derogatory. And I remember thinking to myself, but it's not derogatory if it's not said the wrong way, right? Yes, we've probably all had some derogatory comment thrown at us, but most of the time, 99.9% of the time, it's a very sweet and endearing term. And it's not meant to be offensive at all. And that's one reason I could not get on board with it, because I just could not agree with that. And I love it when a waiter or a waitress says sweetie or darling or whatever, because I just know it's part of the Southern culture, and you can tell whether or not it's being derogatory or not. And like I said, 99% of the time it's not. And anyway, there was this yoga teacher from Nashville who had moved to California, who had a studio in California, who had a very successful studio in California. And she even it got so successful in California that she was actually being able to live between the two places, Nashville and California, for a while. And then COVID hit, the pandemic made her close her business, and she decided instead of having the dual residency, she would leave California and come back here. And she actually made a post the other day talking about these terms of endearment. She was like, I was called honey, dear, sweetheart, sweetie, and I can't remember the other one. She was like, I was called 5 different ones all in one day. And she said, it just brightened my day. It shifted my mood and my energy, and it lifted me up. And she goes, it just felt good to be called that. And she said, when I moved to California and I was wanting to bring in my Southern charm to the studio, I'd say, hey, baby, come on in. And it would be somebody I didn't know. And then I'd have to close my mouth and go, oh, I hope they weren't offended by that. Right? Right. And so basically that was her whole kind of talk on what are we really getting offended by? And so there is this thing that's happened in the yoga community where people are trying to say that saying namaste is like culturally appropriation, which I don't agree with. And I've talked to so many of my Indian students through the years before this became a thing, asking them, are you offended by the fact that we say this? Like, or that we do it at the end of class, because I do know in India it's used as more formal greeting, but not one has ever been offended. In fact, they all say they love it and they think it's honoring their culture and honoring the tradition. And anyway, I just wanted to bring this up because there is this man, his name is Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, and he's the cutest, sweetest, most delightful person. He's, I guess, considered a guru, but he's over the art of living. And there's a big art of living kind of retreat center in Boone, North Carolina, if you ever want to go, where they have programs, lectures, they have Ayurvedic treatments. Anyway, I got to go a few Christmases ago. I got to sit in his presence. And he's one of these people, if you ever heard people talk about saints or gurus, just kind of like not even walking, but just kind of floating through the room. I've witnessed that firsthand. I mean, he just flies through the room. And he's such a bright light. And he's so inspirational with the words that he shares. And he's always smiling. He just oozes happiness. In fact, one of the things they promote is the art of happiness. But anyway, he made this little clip, or one of his people made this little clip of him speaking the other day, and I shared it on social media. He said, you want to know what namaste really means? Because we often say namaste means my soul recognizes you have a soul, right? And that's why they use it as a greeting and as a vow of respect in India. But we often say here in the West, the light and love within my heart vows respectfully and honors the love and the light that you hold within your heart. It's a very beautiful gesture. But he said, namaste means I respect the piece of you that is also a part of me. He said, saying namaste to someone is a sweet, endearing term that is, I am yours and I belong to you. That's sweet. It's so sweet. So anyway, I just wanted to bring up that sweetness for this gesture of namaste. This is called Anjali Mudra. So let's go ahead and take this mudra, where the palms are touching. And remember, the right side is considered the solar masculine side, the left side is considered the feminine lunar side. And it's just nice to bring the two together as one. And then bring the thumbs to the top of the sternum. Sit upward, lifting through the crown of your head. Close and rest your eyes. Think about what namaste means to you, what this gesture means to you. So this gesture may mean grace or gratitude. We even do this gesture before and after a sun salutation as a salutation seal. So think about sealing your intention for being here today, continuing your discipline of yoga, being grateful for the fact that we have a place to congregate together, that this tradition has been passed on for a millennia of time. And the benefits we've gained from it. So now I want you to rub the hands together. So the yogis say there are 72,000 energetic channels that run through the body. And that blows my mind too much, which is why I go by Chinese medicine, which kind of boils it down to a major 14. They don't say there's only 14, but they boil it down to a major 14. But the yogis say that we can actually activate all 72,000 by doing this with our hands, because these points are located in the hands and the feet. So now that we've been rubbing the hands, bring the hands back to prayer position at the heart. And feel that energy. Feel the tingling sensation. Maybe some droplets of coolness mixed in with the heat. Maybe some magnetism. Maybe the hands being pulled together or wanting to separate apart. Just notice the frequency. And again, remembering why you're here. And take 3 deep breaths. At the end of that 3rd breath, you're going to release the hands apart and step the fingertips down alongside the hips. As you inhale, lift your right arm skyward, and as you exhale, plop down onto that left palm and just curve on over. If the hand is too close to your body and you feel like it would feel better to create some separation, you can slide it away. Just if you slide it away, don't let the other side of your seat come off the floor. Keep it rooting downward. Now gently roll that top shoulder back. Maybe pivot the heart center a little bit more skyward. Maybe looking up underneath that arm. And then inhale, come back up to the top. Rest on the fingertips at first. Shine up through the sternum. Close the eyes. Now inhale, lift the left arm, exhale, plop down to the right palm and take the seated variation of Chandrasana. Maybe sliding the hand over if that feels better. Improving the quality of your breath. Bringing in the sweetness of the breath. Maybe taking it a little deeper by rolling the shoulder back, pivoting the heart center skyward, potentially looking up underneath the arm. Affirming strength and courage, fill up my body cells. Inhale, let's come back to sit, and exhale, release the hand down. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is flow on our backs, and I want to show you something really quick. So you know that bridge flow where we come up and down, that's basically what we're going to do for several rounds. But when we come down, sometimes we take a block underneath, but I would rather us try the bolster today. And this is why. We're going to slide the bolster under once we go through the flow so that we can potentially straighten the legs. And the block can sometimes be too much when we straighten the legs, so I want the soft pillow effect instead. So have it in close hand range. And then come back down to your spine and bend your knees and solidify the feet to the floor. Bring your arms beside you. And then inhale, press through the feet, tuck the tailbone and lift up, circling the arms alongside your ears. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly lower down one vertebra at a time and letting the arms come back around. And then you're going to try to complete the sequence. When you're at the top of the inhale, pelvis at its highest degree, the hands should touch. And then finding your momentum with your arms to match the hands landing with the sacrum. So you may find the arms have to go a little faster than your hips. Inhale, circling up, sit to Bandhasana, and then exhale, rolling down, one vertebra at a time. Continue, 3 more. When you get up to your highest degree, make sure you're really pressing and powering down to the mound of the big toe, the inner arch, the inner heel. Your inner thighs stay active. Glutes stay firm. On this next one, when you lift up, this is where we're going to come to supported bridge. So that bolster is gonna slide up underneath the low back and the top rim of the buttocks. And you're slowly gonna straighten out the legs. And you're gonna turn your palms open. Now, if one or the other side of your lobe pose today, you can always bend that knee on that side to alleviate some discomfort. Since we're restoring now, you can close your eyes. Softening the muscles of the face. Softening the fingertips and toes. I want you to consider for a moment what your self-talk is like. Oftentimes our self-talk comes out verbally. Think about when you've heard yourself or another say, oh, I'm so stupid, oh, I'm such an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Imagine if we flipped that and called ourselves honey, baby, sweetheart in those type of moments. And then affirm mentally within, I offer every thought as a bridge to divine grace. Now think about that affirmation. I offer every thought as a bridge to divine grace. Now, how can we ask for divine grace with certain terms that we're using? Instead, be like that sweet nectar. Use the words of endearment. Let's take 10 more breaths. You can count them one by one. completing your 10. If it's still rolling, stay with it. And if you're done, you can slide your feet back. You can press down through the feet, tuck and lift away from the bolster, slide it from underneath you, and roll down to your back. All right, we're gonna roll over to the right side a moment, and you're gonna come up to sit. So I'm giving you some visuals today since I'm gonna continue to take you to your back. We're gonna be doing a twist, a flow, and then we're gonna restore in it. So I'm gonna show you something really quick that I often see. What we'll be doing is inhaling, opening into the twist, and then exhaling out. So when you're opening into the twist, if you find that your shoulder doesn't come all the way down, please don't turn your head. Only if that shoulder touches should you turn your head. Otherwise, it's not going to feel good. And then when it's time to restore, if your shoulder won't go down, that's okay. You're going to pat it with a blanket. And then if you find yourself in a twist and you're using your blanket for the shoulder, but there's a gap here between the knees, you're going to use the bolster for that. So a blanket under the shoulder if needed, and a bolster or block under or between your legs. It can also go under your knees like that. You can see which one works. So have this available. So if you think you may need it for the shoulder, or maybe you're not sure, all you have to do is fold that one long ways in half, the way you took it off the stack there. And then come down to your back to join me. We'll float the feet up. And then we'll roll to the left side and stack the hands. Oh, does anybody need a blanket for the head? You may need 2 blankets. Because I just realized sometimes when we're opening into the twist, the head doesn't want to go all the way to the floor. Okay, you're good. All right, let's inhale. Fan the right arm up and over. And exhale, you're coming back around. Inhale, you're twisting open. And exhale, you're coming back to where you began. And then you're incorporating your breath, of course. So the inhale is creating that movement from the beginning to the end. There may be a natural pause between the inhale and exhale. And then the exhale will carry you out of the twist from the beginning to the end. Now the breath is the secret ingredient, so to speak, and the recipe of these poses. Think about if you've ever made something and you didn't put enough salt or put too much salt, you know. So really emphasize the breath here. Slow it down, make it slow and steady. Let your movement can match. This time, once you've opened up, I want you to check in. Do you need support somewhere, some way? So if the right shoulder doesn't come to the floor, maybe bring that blanket underneath it. And then once you form that open twist and stillness, check in with your knees. Do you have a gap? Do you need anything in between? And then once you get positioned and settled, be in stillness and rest and renew. They say we hold the emotional body in the core of the body. That's what we're primarily focused on here. Taking deep diaphragmatic breaths can help to soothe our emotions. Think of the twist as a way to wash some of it away. Cleaning you out from the inside. You can be more open for the experiences on the outside. Continue to work with the twist, but we're going to move to the other side. So feel free to take the props away so that you have the room to roll the knees over to the right and your head to move over to the right. Stacking the left hand over the right palm. And when you're ready, inhale, start to sail that left arm skyward and fan it over to the other side of your body. As you exhale, lift it up and return to where you started. So it's a continuous flow of movement. Functional therapeutic movement. Noticing any differences that you're experiencing here than you did before. Maybe your back feels a little tighter, maybe your shoulder feels a little tighter. The next time you roll open into the twist, see if or where you need some extra support or padding. Do you need a blanket below the left arm? Do you need a blocker bolster under or in between your knees? And then once you set yourself up properly, rest and renew.
breathing down into your belly. And expand on your inhale. Retract on the exhale.
I want you to consider the affirmation. New life, new consciousness now floods into my being. Life, new consciousness floods into my being. You're ready, roll away to your right side. Push down into your left palm and come up towards the seat. So we're coming up to grab our strap. And so, Dan, I'm thinking about you in particular. You may not need as long of an end.
Okay.
Since you're taller. Anybody else, please know that you can adjust the strap to make it shorter or longer according to what you need. But I'm going to show you really quick what we're going to do. Basically, you have it around your back. I like to have it where the bra strap would be close to being up underneath the, not all the way to the pit of the arms, but close. And then the strap's just going to kind of hang out at first because we're going to do some single leg lifts. And then at the end of that, we're going to bring the foot through and carry it up. And of course, you can make it shorter or longer. And it's okay if the knee is bent, so don't worry about that. If the knee is bent and the strap is still holding the foot, if you keep your heel up just a little bit, you're still going to get the work in the hamstrings if you're not feeling it, but you should be able to feel it. Okay, so once you have the strap around you, just let it go, lie on your back with your legs forward parallel and palms located beside your thighs. All right, focus on the right side first. Point the right foot and sail it skyward. Flex to the ankle and lower it downward. And continue, point and lift. Flex and lower. Control your breath. And then mindfully execute the movement with it. Now that you've done a few reps, draw the right foot into the strap. And then extend the leg up and then adjust the strap to what your body needs. And then the arms should be able to release beside you. Does anybody need help? And once you feel the strap is supporting you to stay in the shape, you can close your eyes. By the way, you can kind of mimic this in your house without a strap if you're in a door frame. So if your body is laying down on the floor your right leg could be up on the wall, and then the left leg could be going through the door. You see what I'm saying? There's a way to do this in your house. You don't want to do just legs at the wall. If you want to work on one singular side. Just a few more breaths. Conclusion of your next exhale, you can softly bend the right knee, hold the strap, remove the foot, send the strap over the belly, slide the right leg long, and then plant your palms beside your thighs again. Single leg lifts to the left. Point the left foot and sail it skyward. Flex the ankle and lower it downward. Keep that going with repetition. On the next round, you're welcome to pull the left knee towards you. Take the foot into the fabric of the strap. Send it back up and test it out because each side is unique. You may need to tighten or loosen according to this set of hamstrings. Once you adjust, move back towards relaxation. And knowing that your breath can lull you into that state if you use it properly. Few more breaths. And softly bend the left knee, take the hand hold to the strap. And the next thing I want you to do is make sure the bracket is, in front of you. And you're gonna probably be tightening the strap, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the strap around the body, but we're drawing both knees towards us, kind of like Apanasana where we, hug them in. But we're gonna tighten the strap so that we don't have to use the arms. So you just pull the loose end of the strap, not to the point where it feels like overbearing, but it's just enough. It's just holding it in place. And your feet can crisscross each other and your arms can lay back out. A more restorative way to do the wind release pose. Let your belly continue to bellow as you breathe. Just a few more breaths. Affirming, here's your hold. I reduce my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. Think about how the full moon can get people and ourselves feeling really scattered. So much restless energy. And this is a very grounding and supportive practice to help to even and balance us back out. I reduce my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. All right, let's take the hands and loosen the strap. Loosen it enough so that your knees can escape. You can roll to one side of your body and come up to take a seat. Okay. It's possible we may use the strap again, but I want you to determine this first. Would you rather today, and this is just you individually deciding, would you like to be here more in a heart opening position? Or do you prefer more of a recliner version of that, okay? Because we all have our favorites. You're gonna pick your favorites. Now, if you want to use the strap again, you can, but it will feed sensation into your hip. So I only want you to do this if you already really like and are really open to butterfly. If you're not already really open and really enjoy butterfly, it's probably gonna get annoying, okay? But this is what you would do with the strap. And I'll give you a second option in just a moment if you don't want to use the strap. So the strap would be at the low back, feet together, not too close yet. And then the strap goes over the thighs and under the feet. And then you'll tighten that loose belt. Now remember, I'm not pulling the feet all the way in, and this is why. Because when you start to roll back, that's gonna happen anyway. So you don't wanna overdo it. So, and again, you can tighten it more if you want it to be tightened more. This may feel lovely to you. You may get in it and go, okay, too much sensation, I don't want that. So there's your first option. You don't want as much sensation. Maybe you want to open up the blanket. Where it looks like this, fold it in half. Loosely roll it. Doesn't have to be perfect by any means. You come back to butterfly. The blanket goes over the feet and rolls and tucks under the calves. So you're not getting all the sensation up top. So you can do, again, back bend or recliner form, strap, or blanket. And if the blanket is not thick enough at the ends to give you enough support, I'll bring you my blanket. And you can have two blankets that you can fold up thicker and place under the knees, similar to blocks. So I'll stay seated and keep an eye out in case you need something extra. Let me dim the overhead lights in the studio as well. If you have an eye bag or a towel, you're welcome to cover the eyes. Would anybody else like? Yes.
No, but I think
You're having trouble with the strap?
I'm backwards.
I'll help you.
I think one side's right.
You're not right either. Okay, let me help both of them. It'll be here. And then. It's all good. I gave you too much instruction. I shouldn't have given you all these choices. Okay, you're doing good. Yeah. So feet together and they go under. Yep.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. Oh.
yeah, I had this one wrong.
Now. Sorry, take the
You're really good.
Now.
Oh, here we go. That makes sense now.
Now.
Just like it's in the
recline.
manual.
Now, can you feel it? It really pipes up that sensation there, but does it feel good? Okay. Anybody else need help? We are in the phase of the full moon in Aquarius, a time where sleep patterns may be a little off, a time where you may feel a little moody or a little uncomfortable. So find comfort here and now. Do that with the secret ingredient of the breath. honoring the place inside of you where the universe dwells, honoring the place inside of you where your soul dwells, honoring the light and the love that you hold in your heart, and honoring your own unique personal truth.
To good most with your breath. Back to remembrance of where you are. The place that you're holding in this room. Feel the props on you or around you or under you. You have the strap wrapped around your body. You can push into the strap with one foot and slide the other foot away. That doesn't work out. You can try drawing the things more together and then shimmying the feet away. If you're with a blanket, it will be a little easier to lift the knees. Feel free to rock them from side to side once the butterfly is free. Turning to one side of your body. Coming up to sit. Turning our hands to prayer position at the heart. Remembering your intention for being here. And perhaps anyone or anything you dedicated your practice to. Even if it was yourself. Remember this evening, if you're having trouble going to sleep, grab a pillow to put yourself in a restorative pose or to get out of bed and to do legs up the wall. Or maybe you want to do legs up the wall before you enter into your bed. It can help you with sleep. Back to this term of sweet endearment, the light in me honors and respectfully bows to the beautiful radiant light in each of you. That peace inside you is also a part of me. When we are indwelling in our hearts, we are one. Namaste. For showing up today. Yeah, sorry, I'm staying.
Yes.